Hard Knocks winners and losers from episode 1. So what I did on today's show is I took the 3 biggest winners and then I took the 3 biggest losers of episode 1 of Raiders Hard Knocks 2019, and I threw together a nice little show. So the biggest winner, or my top winner, is Antonio Brown. Now, why is he a winner? Well, from an offensive standpoint, there was no other player, and it wasn't even close, who was featured more on Hard Knocks than Antonio Brown. The show literally starts off with Antonio Brown. He's stretching. He's showing up in his hot air balloon. The coaches are excited. There's just a lot of excitement around AB. Like, I think it's one of those things for me right now when I watch Antonio Brown in training camp. It's the way that I felt like on Christmas morning, right? Like, I'm sitting there. I know there's a lot of presents down there, and I want to go and unwrap them. And Antonio Brown is the gift that I just want to unveil. Like, I want to see what this guy does on the field already. I am sick and tired of talking about Antonio Brown and how great he is. Like, we know that he's great. We know that he's one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the NFL. Like, you don't put up numbers like this unless you are one of the best, if not the best receiver in the NFL. You just don't do it. Like, I don't care who your quarterback is. And for all those of you that are like, oh, it's Ben Roethlisberger, how about this? You tell me Ben Roethlisberger's numbers before Antonio Brown got there. Deker Carr has way better numbers his first 5 years in the NFL than Ben Roethlisberger did his first 5 years in the NFL. What was the big reason why I think Big Ben suddenly turned into a good quarterback? It's because of Antonio Brown, okay? It's because of Antonio Brown. All right, let me calm down. All right, calm down. Now, Antonio Brown is going to be a focal point of this offense, if not the focal point. And John, I thought was kind of funny, certain parts where he's like pointing at Derek. He's like, he says something to Carr where he's like, Derek, why'd you make that throw there? You see that guy over there, 84? He's pretty good. Like, you can throw it to him in rough situations. Deker Carr spoke very highly of him. Derek and his kids, we saw the videos of those guys getting together. They want their kids to get along. The fact that Derek already knows that he can rely on Antonio Brown, it's really, really exciting. And, oh, man, I got a question for you guys. Oh, this is great. You ready for this? Who's the better quarterback? Type D for Deker Carr or type B for Ben Roethlisberger, mouthful of a burger? All right, so let me hear it in the comments section. D for Deker Carr or B for Ben Roethlisberger? Who's a better human being? It's easily Deker Carr. Ben's a pretty questionable dude, so I see a lot of D's in the comments section, and I promise you guys won't see mine on today's show. But better quarterback, type D for Deker Carr or type B for Ben Roethlisberger. I think this will be an interesting year because I'm interested to see what Ben Roethlisberger does with Antonio Brown because, again, if somebody wants to give me the exact numbers on on Big Ben's numbers before AB came, like, y'all are going to be, like, surprised because Ben is like the key player where like sometimes he looks great and other times you're like, is that Nathan Peterman out there in a Ben Roethlisberger jersey? Because sometimes he looks terrible. All right, next biggest winner, Johnathan Abram. Like, here are the 2 players that were featured on Hard Knocks more than any of the other 2. And it's interesting because they show Cleveland Ferrell for a little bit, right? He was on the show for a little bit. He was riding horses. You know, what's that song where it's like a rap song, but it's Old Town Road? Yeah, I hate that song, but whatever. He's on it. He's riding his pony. He's having a good time. But Abram was by far featured the most. Like, it wasn't even close, right? So, Gruden had a nice heart-to-heart with Abram. He's talking to him on the sidelines. He's like, you know, we like what you bring. We knew that this is the kind of player that you were going to be when we went out and got you at 27th overall. And considering that he had a pretty solid, 2018 season at Mississippi State, but we know that he's a hard-hitting kid. Like, and he's going to bring that toughness and that physicality every down. Also, to hear Whitehead, Vontaze Burfict, like, they like the fact that he's physical, but also from a veteran standpoint, they're like, man, this kid needs to tone it down a little bit. And then also they show a dinner. The dinner's with, like, Derek took all the players out to eat, okay? Took all the players out to eat, but literally it's the entire time, it's Johnathan Abram kind of trashing Deker Carr a little bit. Not in a bad way. He's basically like, hey, man, Derek, I didn't eat all day today. Hey, Derek, you're making $125 million this year. And then he's like talking about You know how he's kind of, I don't want to say shitting on Derek's kids. Derek says that he's still going to instill the fact that he wants his kids to work hard, but Jonathan's like, yo, your kids are going to know you got $125 million. And he's like, oh, you're going to play another 10 years? That's another $125 million. I like the fact that Jonathan's talking it up, but when you can talk it up and back it up, I mean, he's going to be our starting free safety. Like, this is one of the most talented secondaries, I would argue, in the NFL. You have the upside in Garyon Conley, who showed he could be a top 10 cornerback. Daryl Worley, Trayvon Mullen, they're going to be holding down the quarterback 2 spot. Carl Joseph, who played exceptional over the last 8 games of last year. Johnathan Abram bringing that toughness. Then LaMarcus Joyner is our Swiss Army knife. Like, you're going to be able to do so many different things with this secondary. And the NFL today, like it was said multiple times on episode 1, that they know that Hard Knocks, or that the NFL is a pass-happy league. So the fact that we have this secondary, I'm really, really excited about it. Now, Abram is one of those players who we know is going to bring the fire. And I promise you guys, if you guys get me to 20K subscribers by August 13th, I'll continue to bring you the fire here on the Raiders Report. Now, I like to say that I think we're the most interactive YouTube channel for all Raiders content. And truly, like, I love my job, and I would like to be able to continue to do my job. And Chat Sports has given me an amazing opportunity, an amazing platform. It's just, we got to hit certain numbers, and I need the nation to continue to spread my show because I want to continue to grow. And I want to be able to do more shows and do more crazy things and do more beer contests. And I love already the family that we've grown here. So let's continue to grow. Let's continue to get a little bit bigger. The other thing that they showed on Hard Knocks was how all the players were interacting with each other's families. There is no better fan base. Now, I do a lot of other NFL shows here at Chat Sports. I'm telling you right now, with all the other fan bases that we work with at Chat Sports, Raiders Report, Raider Nation is by far my favorite to do. It's why I've literally donated 50% of my work time to the Raiders Report. So please give me to 20K subscribers by August 13th, the next time Hard Knocks comes on live. Because right now, we're a little bit short. And I don't feel like doing the math there because we'd be on here for another 10 minutes. All right, I want to give a special shout out. Cheers to MyBookie. Promo code Go Raiders. Takes a sip of beer. How about this? You guys will get a free beer if you go to the store and buy it yourself. If you sign up with MyBookie, chatsports.com/Raiders, use my promo code GoRaiders for 100% deposit bonus. The only way you're going to find a better deal out there is if you drink 84 beers in 6 minutes. Why? Because you're not going to find a better deal out there. MyBookie hooking us up here at the Raiders Report. Go use my promo code, GoRaiders, chatsports.com/Raiders. And if you do, get a free beer. Send the other 5 to me. All right, next one. Let's get it going. Deker Carr, my last biggest winner. Why is he a winner? Because he's a leader. And the fact that he's going to lead this team, he was very, very highly focused on today's show. So he shows him sitting down with his wife, his kid early on. He's talking highly of AB. Then it shows that he took out the entire team to dinner. Then it shows when they have a team meeting, Derek, all the other players are in there sitting. Derek kind of goes over, gives a nice little fist bump to Jon Gruden. You could tell the level of respect that every single guy in silver and black had for number 4. It was so evident. Like, Derek, I think now entering his 6th year, is taking on that role where he kind of knows it's a prove-it year, drink. The other reason why, though, I think he's a big focus on today's show is a lot of talk around Antonio Brown, his top weapon. A lot of talk around the offensive line, who's going to be protecting him and keeping him upright. Like, they showed one part where they talk about the entire offensive line, Richie Incognito, all these guys, and then they're hitting a sled. And the objective of them hitting that sled was for that offensive line to work together as one cohesive unit. And the fact that when they would hit that sled, you would hear the thud every single time. And the reason why that's important is because they need to be able to work together, because they need to be able to keep Deker Carr upright. Because if they don't, you're going to be paying a lot of money to a guy that you don't necessarily know what you have. So what I wanted to show you guys is here are Deker Carr's contract details. The reason why I always say that 2019 is a prove-it year is because here's his contract. Like, if he doesn't show up this year, 2020, it's only a $5 million dead cap hit. Or in 2021, it's a $2.5 million cap hit. Like, that's nothing. And there's some good quarterbacks coming out in the draft in 2020 and 2021. Derek, I believe in you. We've put the talent around you. I think that you have the utmost respect by all your peers. But at the end of the day, we need to start winning football games. And the fact that we've only had one winning season and you have personally no playoff wins is not going to get it done. My fingers are crossed for you that we can get it done this year. So, here are my biggest winners from Hard Knocks Episode 1. I got Antonio Brown. We went out and traded for, I'll say, the best wide receiver in the NFL. Johnathan Abram. He's going to be bringing the wood. He's also going to be bringing that toughness too. And then Deker Carr. The utmost respect to this guy, the leader of the Raiders, and also the entire show was built around AB, that offensive line, and basically making sure Derek gets it done. So here are my three winners. So out of those three, Antonio Brown, Johnathan Abram, Deker Carr, which winner excites you the most this season? Who are you most excited to watch? Are you most excited to watch Antonio Brown, Deker Carr, Johnathan Abram? If you're like Mitch, you obviously forgot somebody. Let me know in the comments section, all right? So I always say, youtube.com/Raiders Report. The reason why you should subscribe there is because we are the most interactive YouTube channel for all Raiders content. Like, it's actually, I don't even think close. We put out more videos. We put out more content. Definitely more content than anybody else. And we also have the most fun. I think we can agree on that. So which Raiders excite you the most this season? With winners means you gotta have some losers, and I'm a big fan of the movie Dodgeball, but this time, L doesn't mean love. And I think the biggest loser, it is hands down Ronald Ollie. And it's like not even close. They shit on Ronald Ollie pretty freaking hard in episode 1. Now, I know a lot of you guys were like, oh, why didn't Ronald Ollie make the team? If you guys want to know the exact reason why Ronald Ollie didn't make the team, Hard Knocks lays it out for you super, easily. We know that he was featured on Last Chance U, okay? But one of the biggest reasons that he's a loser is Ronald Ollie starts off the show, he's like, man, I just want to play football. He's in his hotel room. He's like, this is all I want to do. And then Jon Gruden and another coach said, or not Gruden, one of their other coaches says, just show up, and that's how you're going to make the team, okay? The only issue is, during one of the practices, Ronald Ollie goes, Coach, I can't go anymore. They say, okay, go on the sidelines, go see the trainer. Ronald Ollie missed his appointment with the trainers. He didn't show up. Now, if you're a player who was an undrafted free agent, who played in one game like in 22 in college, Last Chance U, show up and go to the trainer if they tell you to go to the trainer. He then goes talk to the coach. He's like, I didn't know I had to go. And the coach is like, I told you to go, Ronald. So then John, he basically goes, now this is his exact quote, so I'm just going to let you know ahead of time, I'm going to drop an F-bomb, which might be my first ever here on the Raiders Report. Gruden said, let's get some of these fucking guys out of here who don't want to play. If you're not going to go to the trainers, get them out of here. That is Jon Gruden's quote on Hard Knocks. He was super ticked off, and as soon, and I'm not kidding you, as soon as Gruden found out that Ronald Ollie didn't go to the trainers, he literally went into the locker room, took off his jersey, took off his helmet, took off his pads, and then they were like, you know what, Ronald? It's time for you to go. Like, it was that quick. And I actually love that shit because that shows to me John's not taking anything. And that's what I was really excited about. So one-word reaction to Ronald Ollie being cut. Only allowed to use one word. And I know I swore, but YouTube's going to block you guys if you swear. So if you want to drop the F-bomb, just say Tom. I'm okay with it. That's the rules here normally. So I'll be looking down in the comments section. We got over 400 people watching us right now on YouTube, so I appreciate everyone who's watching us. So one-word reaction. John says, damn. Mitch is raw. I have been going raw lately. Later, Tom, okay. I like these ones from D. Drake, Steve Munoz. Bye from Jeff Rogers. Abram Pablo says, damn. 559 Red, I like that one. Boot. Callie King says, Tomped, Ollie, Deuces, Discipline. Tom Ronald Ollie, I'm all about it. And then Arnold Sales says, joke. Shout out to all the 500 people, basically 500 combined, Facebook and YouTube, watching the Oakland Raiders Report. Now, for those of you who aren't already subscribed, make sure you guys do. Right now we're at 19,439. I need to get to 20K by the next time I do this watch party for Hard Knocks. So if you're not already subscribed, please do. And for those of you who are subscribed, I'm going to ask you this favor, okay? We just put in the comments section, youtube.com/Raiders Report. I want you to copy that link, and I want you to send it to the 10 biggest Raiders fans that you know. Okay? Send it to the 10 biggest Raiders fans that you know, and then send me a screenshot of you doing that. I will give you guys a shout out on next week's episode. Let's continue to grow the show. Can you do that for me? I would very, very appreciate it. Get Raiders Report to 20K by August 13th. Let's get to that next loser. Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is number 2 on my list because I was on Hard Knocks episode 1 as much as Josh Jacobs was. 0. Josh Jacobs did not make a single second of Hard Knocks episode 1, which is mind-blowing to me. Like, I don't understand how you have the last rookie who signed, who is our 24th pick, who I would say has probably the highest odds of any Raider to win Rookie of the Year, who's going to be our main running back, who's filling in for Marshawn Lynch. How is he not on Hard Knocks? Like, it makes no sense to me. Plus the fact that, like, Chris Warren wasn't on episode 1, and one of the reasons why I think Chris Warren got cut also is because the utmost confidence in Josh Jacobs and him going to get the work. Like, what are we doing? Like, I just didn't really understand the thought process of not showing Jacobs. And, like, the storyline is there. I mean, Jacobs was good at Alabama, but the fact that this kid had only 299 career touches at Alabama, and then you draft him in the first round, there's a lot of question marks around him. What makes for great storylines and TV shows? Question marks. And, like, Josh Jacobs is going to be featured in this offense. So how are you not showing him? I just was mind blown by that. So maybe Hard Knocks was a loser, but Josh Jacobs is clearly a loser on today's show just simply because he wasn't featured. Like, I am super, super excited to see Josh Jacobs play. I guess Hard Knocks isn't. I'm not quite sure. So I want to ask you guys this. Are you surprised Josh Jacobs was left out? You guys want to type Y for yes, N for no, 4 for believe it, baby, 0 for tuck rule, tuck that. I want to know. And then also, Noah, I see your comment. Continue to get those subscribers as I awkwardly burp here on camera. Oh, that beer. It's good. 10 Barrel Brewing Company, shout out to you. It was just in San Diego. They make good beer there, so if you guys are ever out there, go check them out. Are you surprised that Josh Jacobs was left out of Hard Knocks? I am. I'm unbelievably surprised. And also, I know I'm going to give a quick, like, selfish plug here just because I can. If you guys like the shirt, it's Raider Nation store on IG. I can get you 3 of them for 50 bones. All right, last loser, another person who didn't even get a single second of camera time. It's MIke Mayock. Like, I was very, very surprised that we didn't get to hear or see Mayock whatsoever. He is the new general manager of the Oakland Raiders. For those of you who are like, who's MIke Mayock? And for those of you that are questioning that, you're probably not a real Raiders fan anyway. But, like, the fact that we went out and got MIke Mayock, and I think a lot of the moves that we made this offseason, especially in the draft, are because of MIke Mayock. So the fact that you're not going to show your new general manager was questionable to me. I understand Jon Gruden, he's the face, and Deker Carr and Antonio Brown. Like, these are very exciting players and coaches, and they bring that fire. But if the Raiders want to be successful, it starts from top to bottom. I am not a big Mark Davis fan, but Mark Davis did give a very, very nice speech on today's episode. One of the things that I respect about him that Mark Davis said was he told the younger players that the Raiders, it's more about the past players than the current players because Raider Nation is a family. And if you want to continue to be in this family, you need to be able to join that elite echelon of players who played for a long time with the Raiders. And if the Raiders want to have upper echelon players get there, a lot of it's going to fall on MIke Mayock's shoulders. So the fact that he wasn't shown, I was very, very confused by. So you guys have seen all my losers, okay? And if you think I'm a loser, let me know. Which of the biggest losers worries you the most, okay? So Ronald Ollie, Josh Jacobs, MIke Mayock. Those are my biggest losers. Now, obviously, Ronald Ollie shouldn't worry you because he's not a Raider. But does Josh Jacobs worry you? Does MIke Mayock worry you? Is there a loser who you guys who watch the show are like, Mitch, you left this guy off? Who is one of the biggest losers that worries you the most? I want you guys to comment below, okay? Because this show, like I always say, it's not about me. It's about the nation. And for those of you that aren't already subscribed, because I know there's a bunch of you newly watching, let me know in the comments section. And then make sure you guys subscribe at youtube.com/Raiders Report, because we're going to be doing more and more Hard Knocks shows, okay? We're going to be live for all those. And when we do them, we're going to do takeaways. We're going to do losers. We're going to do winners. And also, we're going to then do a live Q&A.